Week 1 was absolutely insane. So many upsets. All the good teams seemed to look pretty bad. All the bad teams, a lot of them overperformed. We're going to break that all down today in our latest power rankings.
Amon-Ra is not Jefferson.
Amon-Ra's better than Jefferson. If you guys go watch the freaking film, you can see that Amon-Ra is a much better player than Jefferson. I don't hate this tier. Wait, did you say Drake London?
No.
Okay, I hate this tier.
So we're just going to break these down into smaller tiers. In the worst tier, I got the Saints at 32, the Dolphins at 31, the Panthers at 30, the Browns at 29, the Giants at 28, the Titans at 27, and the Bears at 26.
For my bottom tier, we got the Saints at 32, the Panthers at 31, the Dolphins at 30, the Browns at 29, the Jags at 28, the Titans at 27, and the Giants at 26.
Dang, you're really low on the Jaguars.
Yeah, I mean, I've been low on the Jaguars all offseason. I don't think this team is good necessarily. Yeah, they played well, but they played the Panthers. I expect everyone to play well against the Panthers. Bryce Young did his usual Bryce Young week 1 things. Just didn't look good whatsoever. This offense is not hard to stop. They just honed in on the run, and they did a good job at that, but that's all they needed to worry about. On offense, I feel like their offense didn't even look good necessarily. I feel like it was more just the Panthers' defense is probably the worst in the NFL right now, maybe outside the Dolphins. This defense is just absolutely horrific, especially on the run side of things. They just traded their best running back, in my opinion, by a lot. For some reason, they didn't give him a single touch. I'm not confident in this team at all. They have a few weapons, but I just think it was a week 1 game where they got to win, yeah, but they're not going to look good the rest of the season.
I mean, I'm not super high on them either, but having them this low is kind of crazy in my
Are they
opinion.
not on this tier for you?
No.
Interesting.
But the Panthers, this is probably the most disappointing game in my opinion, just because I didn't have insane expectations, but I definitely had expectations. No, they were in my. They were like 25th on my thing.
You had them going 9-8 this season.
Yeah, that is true. They have a really, really bad schedule. But everything that they struggled with last year, especially early in the season, Bryce Young looked terrible. Their run defense looks like they didn't improve at all. They allowed like 130 yards to Travis Etienne.
Yeah.
Travis Etienne sucks. Like,
And he
it's
didn't even
the
do
problem.
that well necessarily.
I
He
mean,
had like one big run.
yeah, he had that huge run where somehow he couldn't score.
Yeah.
Christian Rosenboom ran him down.
Yeah.
That's kind of pathetic, but yeah, they traded away the best running back, so technically on paper their team kind of got worse, but
Yeah.
I did like what I saw from them, except for from like Trevor Lawrence. He missed Brian Thomas Jr. on 65% of his targets. That was the most by any receiver by like 20% this week.
I mean,
for
65 is ridiculous.
uncatchable passes. Yeah, that's actually insane.
Yeah.
I think one of them was on a screen, and all the other ones were on deeper passes. But he was open on all of them. Like Liam Cohen was talking about, he was like, "Yeah, we had him. He was really open on that corner, that in cut, wide open. No one was anywhere near. He's gonna get a big game there. He's just going through everything." And it was like, Trevor Lawrence just didn't hit him. Like, we still have the same problems with Trevor Lawrence, but I still think this team definitely does have some talent. And the Panthers, like,
No,
the run defense is so
I
bad.
think the Jags definitely have talent, but I don't know. I think all these teams are, or like especially like a top 4 in this tier are very similar. Like I feel like there's a bottom 3 in my opinion of the Saints, Panthers, and Dolphins. I feel like they're just the worst in the NFL. Well, I'll talk about this a lot throughout this whole video, but I think week 1, a problem that a lot of people kind of face and a lot of people end up doing is they move too many things in week 1. Things are going to look way more dramatic than they will be throughout the whole season in week 1 specifically. So I try to limit how much I'll move things. Obviously, I'm still going to move things because what you see is still somewhat important, and what's the point of making a power rankings video? It's going to be the exact same. It's kind of stupid. But I still do think that people move things too much. Like, for example, the Saints, yeah, they didn't lose as much as I thought they'd lose by. Still the worst team in the NFL by a lot. They're still terrible. They're awful. The Panthers, I was already low on them. That's why I'm okay moving them even further down. They showed me exactly what I was expecting to see from them. The Dolphins, they did move down probably like 4 or 5 spots for me. And that is quite a bit, but like, holy crap, man. Like, you looked so bad against Daniel freaking Jones. Like, obviously the Colts have some talent, but it's Daniel Jones who just, like, slice and diced your defense, bro. Like, bad. Like, terrible, terrible look for the Dolphins. And, especially you, we were not high on them coming into the year already. You were even lower, which I think you had them 31. So that's probably why.
I had them as I said they were the team that no one was talking about that had a chance, like a good chance of being the worst team in the league.
I don't think they're going to be the worst team in the league.
I think they could be. The Saints
don't think they
looked
can
like
be.
a competent football team. I think that it says more about the Cardinals, which is why I kept them at 32. I still think their talent's terrible. I don't know if they'll win a game. I think this week is one of their best chances at winning a game, depending on like Brock Purdy's health. They're missing a lot of receivers. George Kittle, like,
I don't think they're gonna win this week.
yeah, but I think this is one of their better chances.
I don't know, man. I at the end of the day, I think the Dolphins are bad, but I think they're going to be a little bit better than what. Obviously, they're gonna be better than what they showed last week. Like that was horrific.
And, well, the defense wasn't there. The offense, Tua looked terrible.
Yeah.
He was throwing picks to pass rushers.
No,
In
and
coverage,
I agree
like,
with you. I'm just saying they're gonna be better than they showed on Sunday because on Sunday they were far and away the worst team in the NFL. They were horrible, but I think they're gonna be better than that. But I still am at 30. I think they're gonna move up throughout the season, but they deserve to be at 30 right now. Like that was just so bad.
pathetic.
And then the Browns, that was kind of a weird game. I feel
Yeah.
like their defense played really, really well, but how much of that can we attribute to the fact that the Bengals never play well on offense to start the year? It's so dumb how bad they are in the beginning of the year. Chase Brown averaged like 2 yards a carry. He was horrific. Joe Burrow averaged like 4 yards at an attempt. He wasn't even good. That's bad. That's really bad, actually. Jamar Chase only had 2 catches for 20 yards or something like that. Like this whole team didn't look good. So which one is it? And they couldn't score on the Bengals defense. That's a problem. That's a very, very, very big problem. So obviously that's a big reason they're down here.
Yeah, I mean, they need Judkins to be good because
And he's not.
we don't think he is, but he could be. He's a rookie, he has a chance. But we saw nothing from Jerome Ford. We saw really just negatives from Dylan Sampson. He looked like a terrible running back, at least on a rushing perspective. He was a really good receiving back.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people saying he was a great rookie.
Yeah,
First game.
and he's supposed to be the receiving back role. He's not supposed to be running between the tackles. So it's like I'm knocking him because like the team has to have him run there because they don't have other players to play there, and they need to have that. Joe Flacco, honestly, like he had a lot of incompletions, but he looked pretty solid. He had a bunch of 2 picks that looked like the exact same, like should have been caught and then ended up ricocheting up and being picked. And the Bengals defense really held them in check, which is very concerning for the Browns. Yeah, I mean, their defense is going to be good. Their offense looks like it's going to be absolute garbage.
It looked so bad. Maybe need to put Dylan Gabriel in sooner rather than later. But
It's the least their problem.
moving on to the Titans real fast. I had them at 27. That did move them up a little bit, I think. I think this Titans team showed me a lot that I wasn't expecting. Obviously, again, week 1, blah, blah, blah. But as a guy who watched every single snap of that game, Jeffrey Simmons really impressed me. Maybe it's because he hates Bo Nix or something that seemed to be like maybe had a second motive or whatever. But he plays like this every week. He's going to be one of the best D linemen in the league. Like he played so phenomenally against a really good offensive line. Like he played really, really well. He was causing havoc for us the whole game. And then Roger McCreary, another guy who really, really impressed me. Obviously, it's easy to say that when he had the interception, but he was playing well all game. It wasn't just that interception. He had multiple pass breakups. He was great in coverage. His instincts are amazing. He might be breaking out this season. He's been a solid player for a while, but he might be able to take that next step this year. And obviously, this team has so many holes, especially on offense. But this defense, has a few pieces like I just mentioned with Simmons and McCreary. And they have Kevin Winston, who you really like. They have a few pieces in spots where they can make things work, and I think this defense could be solid with what I saw from week 1. But that's about it. That's about all I liked from the Titans there. Their offense is horrible. I mean, it is terrible. Obviously, they play probably the best defense in the NFL. It's going to be pretty tough to just go up against that week 1 with a rookie quarterback in their stadium as well. But the offense still looked horrible. Pollard averaged 3 yards a carry. They had negative 2 yards in the second half. 6 sacks allowed. Cam Ward had a 40% completion percentage. Like this game was horrible on the offensive side of the ball. And the defense really was the only reason they were even somewhat in the game. But believe it or not, I saw enough to move them up, and that's why they're all the way up at 27.
Yeah, me too. Mine are also at 27 for me. Calvin Ridley looked like absolute garbage. I think he had 3 drops in the game, including one late in the game, which would have set them up at like the 30-yard line. So they would have had a chance to tie it up. He had multiple throws over the seam that looked like they could have been caught. I think it was like 4 on the last drive, and they weren't.
4 is way more than it was. It was 2. But
it was at least 3.
No, it was the Ridley and the Chig one, and then
Sure.
he tried to hit Ayumaner on the sideline, but it was a little high.
I also thought Ayumaner looked solid.
He had like 4 drops, so if that's
4
what you consider
drops?
solid. I mean, like what they're considering drops, because
I wouldn't call those drops.
Well, I wouldn't either, but I wouldn't call the
But it's
Chig one a
looking
drop
like-
either.
It's looking like he's going to have a role in the offense, which is pretty good.
I mean, yeah, he got open.
Gunnar Helm looked good.
Bro had 1 catch.
He only had, he also had one that was called back, the one on
Yeah,
Singleton.
because it wasn't a catch.
It was basically a catch.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, it should have been a catch.
Okay, but he's not good enough to make it a catch.
No, it like should have been called a catch.
No, you agreed it should not have been live. So, and on the replay.
It was so close.
Yeah, but it wasn't a catch.
Okay, buddy. Anyway, yeah. I mean, Cam Ward, when he was throwing the ball, he didn't look that bad. But, like, everything else is so bad. He took so many sacks when you can't take sacks. Like,
Yeah.
there was one drive, they were at, like, the 30-yard line maybe, and he took back-to-back sacks to set them back to the 50. That's, like, the worst play you can get there besides a pick or a fumble.
I think they were actually like the 25, and they didn't get points on the drive.
It's actually insane. Because was that the one on the muffed Mims kick punt return?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just terrible. But I felt like they didn't play that well. I think they played worse than I'd expect them to play, if that makes sense. I think they're underperformed, and they still almost beat the Broncos.
I disagree. I think they overperformed. Not on offense, but their defense very much overperformed.
That's just what the defense is. I think it's not
I think
the Broncos just messed up. Like,
yeah, they could have played worse, basically.
Yeah, I'm not like that Titans defense. If the Broncos play like that again, I think the Titans defense plays like that again.
Yeah, I get. Well, maybe. I feel like Simmons had a lot of good moments, even when the Broncos offense looked like they knew what they were doing in some fashion. So, but anyway, it's Father Sweat also in a moment. I think the last team we have to talk about in this tier is the Giants. On paper, I feel like in this tier, they're far and away the best team on paper. It's so weak. Like, obviously, they looked horrible in week one. Again, just week one. I'm very interested to see what they look like against the Cowboys this weekend. Because I think that's so telling. They're already talking about putting Jackson Dart in. I saw that's official now, not just a fake report. But they said, Dable said they plan on starting Russ and it wasn't a question or whatever. But the fact that has to be answered already is kind of concerning. But I think this defense has so much potential this season. Their pass rush is really good. We saw that right away. It looked like Abdul Carter has beaten Tunsil multiple times. Brian Burns had multiple sacks against the rookie. But I do, and obviously Sexy Dexy is going to be amazing coming from the middle. But I do think that their offense was absolutely horrific. I didn't realize how bad this line was going to be. We all knew it was going to be horrible, but this might be worse than the Texans' offensive line. That line made the Commanders' pass rush look like it was a good pass rush. That pass rush is terrible. Daron Payne looked like a good DT in that game.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen him do anything in 3 years.
He had 4 pressures.
He's a terrible pass rusher.
And the reason I say it could be worse is because Andrew Thomas not playing. Oh my gosh, dude. They have no one. That offensive line is horrible. It was so bad. One of the worst offensive lines I've ever watched in a game. It was really bad.
Russ gets pressured and just runs.
Well, he just throws the ball. Well, he tries to run, then realizes he's not as fast as he used to be and throws the ball away. Or takes a sack. So, I mean, they got to figure it out, obviously. If the line can block any better, I do believe in this team to steal some wins and be okay. That's why I have them here at 26. Didn't push them too far down, but I do think that this first game was horrible, and it needs to be some week one stuff they figure out. Is there anything else in this tier, though, you want to
I
talk
had the
about?
Bears at 26. I thought that was...
People are not going to be happy about that.
I watched the first drive, and I was like, Caleb's doing what he needs to do. Their defense looked really good, especially for losing, their 2 best players on their defense, right?
Gordon?
Unless Dexter, is there other... Gervon Dexter, those are their 2 of their 3.
What about Grady Jarrett?
Okay, so maybe their 2 best defenders, and they're only all-pro or
They
Pro
also
Bowl
lost
caliber
one of their
defender.
linebackers.
Yeah, T.J. Edwards.
Yeah.
So not that big of a deal.
Yeah, but he still lost another linebacker.
Yeah, well, their defense still looked solid for at least the beginning of the game. So I thought the Bears were... I was like, oh no, the Bears might be solid. And then the rest of the game I watched, and I was like, oh my gosh, this team sucks. Caleb looks just like last year, except for he's taking less sacks. He's just holding onto the ball longer because he can.
Because the offensive line's amazing. The offensive line played so well last night.
Need all day in the pocket. People are getting open as well. I just don't understand why this... And Swift, honestly, he looked a lot better than I expected.
Yeah.
I feel like this whole team should be better than it is, which what we've been saying for the Bears for ever, but it's not. And Ben Johnson seemed to only save their offense for 1 drive.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear to me that they should have kept Justin Fields. Imagine they traded that first overall pick, got someone even more for this. I mean, this offense has so many pieces in it. This offensive line is great. I think this is easily a top 10 unit this season from what I watched last night. I mean, this Vikings blitzing and front is no joke. And they're having Caleb Williams. The announcers, for some reason, started bringing up how Caleb looks so good getting the ball out fast. And I'm sure lots of casuals are like, yeah, I'm sure he did. Look at all these completions he had in that first half. Guys, he held on the ball longer than he ever has, besides like one other game. It's the second lowest mark in his career for holding on to the football. He held it on.
That was in the first half. So I assume in the second half it probably got worse since he was trying to hold on to and make a play.
Well, yeah, and he started 10 for 10. Yeah, that's really good. Since then, he went 9 for 24. That's horrible. I mean, so bad. People want to act like Caleb had a really good game. He didn't. All of his throws were to a guy who was standing still. As soon as he was asked to hit people in stride, it was over their head on fourth down.
At least on the first drive, he had a couple nice sideline balls.
I didn't watch the first drive, to be fair. Or at
Like
least
one
most
to
of it.
Rome, I was like he ripped it in there. It was a really nice throw, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I was not impressed whatsoever with this game from him. And then obviously we'll talk about the Vikings in a little bit. I just think this was an ugly game overall from both sides. And so I'm not impressed at all. I think I'll tell you right now, the Bears are next for me. Like, I think people that have them anywhere near the teens are just it's ridiculous.
I mean, that game brought me like a soothing sensation for how easy our division is compared to what I thought. I thought one of these two teams would very much overperform. I was pretty sure it'd be the Vikings because of Kevin O'Connell. I don't know if it's either of them, honestly. Like, yeah, I mean, it was really nice, especially looking at the lines as well.
Yeah,
This division is not the best division in football.
I mean, I'll tell you the AFC West is, but we'll get there. Ready to move on to the next tier?
Yeah. In the next tier, I have the Vikings at 25, the Jaguars at 24, the Jets at 23, the Patriots at 22, and the Seahawks at 21.
Wow, a lot that I disagree with in this tier, but I got the Bears at 25, the Colts at 24, the Jets at 23, the Cowboys at 22, and the Vikings at 21.
The Cowboys are low.
I mean, yeah, their defense is so unbelievably terrible. I mean, this defense is horrific.
They allowed like the Super Bowl champions to get like 24 points.
Yeah, and they also couldn't stop the Super Bowl champions on a single drive until the weather delay, where neither offense looked like they knew how to play football anymore.
But their offense looked really good.
Yeah, in the first half or so.
Yep, before the
but
weather delay.
I'm chalking that up to the fact that, like, yes, this offense is going to be good, but they always play the Eagles better than they play anyone else. I still feel like this defense was absolutely terrible. I feel like they're going to lose a ton of games because of that. And I still think that, like, they deserve to be down here. They're not a playoff team. They have a great passing attack. I think Javonte still didn't look good. Like, he looked better than he did last season. That's not saying anything. And he got in the end zone twice. I think that's the biggest reason people think he had a good game. He had, like, 60 yards on the ground. He has no big playability still. I don't know. I just think that ultimately this team is not good. Like, yes, they'll be able to throw the ball really well, but CD dropped 4 passes. This game was close, and that's a good sign for the Cowboys, but I expected it to be close. That's what I was predicting. It's week 1. It's a divisional matchup. They always play the Eagles close. They're not going to play other teams as well as they played the Eagles this week, and I think this team is only going to go downhill from here.
That's crazy. Like, where'd you have them before this?
Probably a little bit higher than this.
Yeah, but like I don't understand after that, after they almost beat the reigning Super Bowl champions, how did they drop?
Well, I expect them to beat the reigning Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, I don't know how you expected that, especially if you hate them this much.
Well, I don't hate them this much. This is a good spot for them. I don't know why you're, like, wigging out.
Who'd you have above the one spot above?
The Vikings. I think the Vikings showcased a
The
lot more
Vikings
than they did in the
showcased
game.
nothing.
And the Cowboys' coaching is just horrific. I really do believe that the Cowboys, the reason they're moving down mainly is because other teams around them are just shifting. I feel like they just moved up and down with the people. I didn't really touch them. And so, I don't know. I don't trust this team to do anything.
I think Javonte, I know you said he didn't look good. Obviously, he didn't look good. But he showed me that this run game isn't going to be like a joke. It's like, if they need to rely on it, they can to some degree, at least in some games.
They averaged 3.8 yards a carry against a team without their only good run defender in the middle.
Well, that's just not true. Moro Ojomo's a good run defender.
Jordan Davis was their best DT.
Jordan Davis is a good run defender. That's all he can do.
He was horrible in that game. Like, horrible. You kept commenting on him. Horrible. Because he was horrible. This run, they got to play the Eagles without the best player on their defense, who's a phenomenal run stopper in Jalen Carter. He clogged up the middle, and they still average under 4 yards a carry. This run game sucks.
Yeah, well, the other ones do. Also, I think Jaden Blue, if he plays, they might win. They might have won this game, which I know sounds insane. But, like, the Miles Sanders run, do you remember that one?
They would have won this game if CD knew
I think I think blue scores on the
I agree.
Miles
But
Sanders run.
I don't know. I don't trust this. Like, they're going to get wins, obviously. I think it predicted like 7 wins. That's how I feel. This is where a 17-win team belongs. This is like right outside the top 10. This is the 11th pick in the draft. That's a 7-win team. This is a good spot for them. I don't understand why that's like that crazy.
I
You think
just-
they're going to get
I
much more
think-
than 7 wins?
I think they could get like 8 or 9.
No
Like,
way you think they can get 9 wins.
I think they can get 9. They're clearly a team that can play a contender well.
No, I mean, not. I don't think they can play any other contenders well. You don't understand how bad this defense is, man. Like,
It's pretty bad.
It's
but,
horrible. And defense is what's most important to keep you in games that you
yeah,
shouldn't be in.
I guess that's what happens when you trade away your best defender, like, of all time or whatever.
I mean, they didn't, but the Colts, were they this tier for you?
No.
Well, that's ridiculous.
I just don't think
See-
any of these teams are good.
That's my thing. The Colts aren't good. Like, that's the
I
thing.
didn't say the Colts were good. I don't think anybody in my
I
next
think-
tier's good.
Okay, whoa. I think you're just moving teams too much in week 1, just like most people do.
I moved the
Um,
Colts up, I think, 4 or 5 spots.
I think I moved them up a spot.
1 spot.
Yeah, because they played one of the worst teams in the NFL, and it's week 1. I think this is going to be the same situation from last season. Obviously not as bad of a fall off, but like, yes, they had probably the best week 1. I don't really care. Because guess what? The Saints had by far the best week 1 last season, and they were the worst team in the NFL, arguably. They were horrible.
Yeah, but the Saints, it didn't make sense why they're good. The Colts,
It doesn't make sense why the Colts were good.
the Colts showed me everything I needed to see from them. The quarterback, I've been asking for them to get a quarterback who can hit the reads, who can make a play if they need him
Right.
to. It's what Daniel Jones did, and I don't know if he's going to be able to sustain that. I
He
didn't
can't.
rank him like he could.
I mean, you did.
They're
He's
not
in the
that
top
high.
20.
No, wait, what?
This tier goes all the way up to 21.
Dang, that's crazy. They're
Yeah.
a top 20 team.
No, they're not. This team is not good, and you put the Dolphins at 31. If you think the Dolphins are that bad, that doesn't make sense to reward the Colts to a top 20 spot.
They scored on
because-
every drive in the game.
Yeah, because
This
they
team
played the
did not
Dolphins,
make
who you think's the
mistakes.
worst defense in the NFL.
This team did not make mistakes. And this
They
defense
didn't
is
need
legit.
to.
This defense is legit.
I wouldn't call them legit. They're not top
They're
10.
top 10.
No, they're not.
I thought going
that's
into the year
fine.
I was like teetering on like around the top 10 range. I think they're top 10.
This is not a top 10 defense.
It definitely is.
I don't know. This team will fall off. This team, you project them to get 5 wins this season or something. That's
I'm
not
changing
a top,
that.
That's not a top 20 team.
I think they'll get
because,
7.
that's changing too much from week 1. Just like I said,
Bruh.
week 1 is not.
I think they
this
showed me a
important.
lot of stuff.
Yeah, you're taking too much off.
Also,
of the
Tyler
terrible
Warren might
team.
have been the best rookie this week. According to
'cause he had 7
PFF.
catches.
According to PFF.
I don't know. That's a
He
ridiculous
was the best
thing.
tight end in the league.
The Jets.
Also,
are they
he
in this
led
range for you?
he led all tight ends in receiving yards.
Okay, are the Jets in this range for you?
Yes, they're at 23.
It's where I have them. I think it's a fair spot. They play the Steelers really well. I think Fields had some motivation for sure.
Mhm.
Played one of the best, if not the best, game in his career. Looked really, really, really good in that game. Brees Hall looks like he's bouncing back. I saw like a running chart from Hall, and wherever Watt was on the play, he just didn't run there, which is
No, it
really
wasn't
funny.
just whenever he was there. That was the whole game.
Yeah, it was so fun.
He ran like every single play was to the left.
Yeah, but he did really well. He
Mhm.
ran the ball really, really well. So yeah, I think this is just a solid team that's gonna get a solid amount of wins, but not be anything like good, not a top 20
Yeah,
team.
I think they could beat some good teams. But I also think like there's a good chance this team lose to like let's say they play the Bears. Like I think they could easily lose to the
Oh,
Bears.
yeah.
I think
They
they
could
can
lose
drop
to
to these
almost
bad
any
teams as
team.
well. I don't think the consistency is going to be there. The defense, which is one of the ways that they were going to be good, is if their defense could kind of bounce back to the form it was like a season or two ago. It was not good at all. It let Rodgers throw 4 touchdowns. The run game for the Steelers wasn't that good, but that's probably because they played Kenneth Gainwell on most of their snaps.
Yeah,
Not sure what that was about.
it's Arthur Smith for you.
Do you have the Patriots in here?
No, I have him in the next.
Really?
I thought that was kind of weird for you not to have him.
They didn't. This was kind. I think this is around where I had them before this week. They didn't show me anything I didn't expect.
I think I have him above
Except
this too.
Stephon Diggs is clearly not their number 1, not their number 2, not their number 3.
Okay, well that's just not true. But
He played. He was
Target-wise.
4th in snaps.
I mean, he's the one
His
that played
efficiency was probably 4th on their team. I think Kyle Williams earned himself some more snaps. He was in for I think 3 routes and had to catch a nice grab, a nice route for 13 yards late in the game. I think he's gonna start getting more
I
involved.
thought he was a starter. Is that what you were
Yeah,
talking
that's what ESPN put, or that's what the Patriots put. But Kayshon Boutte is,
about? His favorite target.
his favorite target. So
Yeah, I don't know. They're a weird team, but I think they're going to be a solid defense. May's going to keep improving.
I think
love
the defense
Henderson.
was a little worse than I was hoping.
Well, the thing is, that's not going to go right away. There's a lot of new faces on
Mhm.
this defense. There's a lot of new faces in the staff room. I didn't expect them to win this game, but I still expect them to get like 8 or 9 wins.
Yeah, this is exactly how I thought this game would go, so I don't think I
Exactly.
moved either of these teams.
Exactly. Like I think that they could just keep improving. My last team in this tier was the Vikings.
I had them at 25.
I'm at 21. I think this team is like obviously nowhere near as good as they were last year. McCarthy's terrible. I don't know why people are like
Everyone thinks he played well.
Yeah.
People in the comments are going to be like, McCarthy played like him. They won
Yeah.
that game.
People really think he played well because of the fourth quarter. Thing is, guys, first of all,
He threw 8 passes in the fourth quarter.
well, first of all, the first 3 quarters were terrible. He had like 50 yards, I think, and a pick 6.
Mhm.
He had more interception return yards than passing yards, just so people are aware. And then in the fourth quarter, Kevin O'Connell took over. It wasn't J.J. McCarthy taking over. If you look at the play calling, the run game was better in the fourth quarter. The run game got established. That was a big thing. And then off the play action, he hit the open man. Yeah, he did hit the open man. He made a nice scramble for a touchdown and a read option as well. But he didn't like make any spectacular plays or anything.
I think the end zone throw was really nice.
It was a nice throw. But like, I wouldn't call it a spectacular play or anything. Like anything to where people are like that can't redeem that fourth quarter does not redeem the rest
Yeah,
of that game.
definitely.
And it showed me exactly what I expected from JJ McCarthy. And the reason I have this team at 21 is this defense is still going to be solid. This team is going to be very good in these moments. Kevin O'Connell is very good in end of game situations or situations where he needs to thrive as a head coach. And I think they're going to win games that maybe they shouldn't because of those things. They have very good coaching staff on both sides of the ball. And I think that was shown last night. And so I think that's why I have them at 21. That's why I have them above the Cowboys. Is if the Cowboys and them played, I'm taking the Vikings because I trust the Vikings.
That's crazy.
I think the game's close, and I think that I trust the Vikings to take over at the end. I don't trust Brian Schottenheimer to do anything.
I mean, I think this is the lowest. I think they're just going to stay down here or go up. I don't really see a way they go further down, which is kind of weird why I put them here. But, like, McCarthy's being sheltered so much. Clearly, they want to try Aaron Jones to run the ball.
Mason's way better.
Yeah, Mason's a way better runner. It's not even close. The receiving options couldn't get involved because McCarthy couldn't throw the ball downfield. So Jefferson had no yards. Hawkinson had no yards. Those are the 2 top weapons. I don't even know who did have all of his yards. Oh, it was Aaron Jones probably.
Yeah, on that one big
Mhm.
touchdown pass,
Yeah.
which was underthrown.
Yeah, and the defense did not look that good, in my opinion.
It looked fine.
What you want to see is, like, Brian Flores' scheme is supposed to get, like, these unblocked pressures or these a lot more
I feel like they
pressures.
didn't blitz as much as I wanted them to.
Yeah, and as well, they didn't seem to get pressure either.
Well, whenever
Their
they
run
blitzed-
defense was good, and then I felt like their pass coverage was
When they blitzed, I felt like, oh, they should keep doing that because Caleb would get flustered. He'd throw an
Mhm.
intentional ground and he'd take a sack, whatever it is. But he didn't blitz till the fourth quarter. And I didn't really understand why. But if they can just go back to blitzing the second most in the NFL like they did last season, then I think they'll be fine.
I mean, blitzing only works against certain quarterbacks,
Yeah, and
like
Caleb's
bad quarterbacks.
and Caleb's one of the quarterbacks that works. And that's just not true. Depending on your defense, blitzing works against every quarterback.
Not really. A lot of quarterbacks are just way better against the blitz.
Well, you can still be better against blitz. It still limits your offense if you can do it effectively. For example, we'll talk about the Broncos later. We blitz all the time, but we still play every quarterback well defensively because we're able to cover the people. Like usually the thing about blitz is that you have to leave everyone one-on-one, but that's like what we thrive at. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But are you ready for the next tier?
Do you have the Seahawks in this tier?
No, I'm in my next tier.
Yeah, I had the Seahawks here. That was really pathetic performance to end the game. I think what was it, 10-13?
It was not a good game, whatever it was.
Tyreek Woolen was in man-on-man against a tight end who had no catches before this game. Jake Tonges.
That play was bad.
You saw the play?
Yeah.
He just, like, faced behind him and let him jump in front. He had a nice PBU, but he kind of sold the game, like earlier in the game, I mean.
Yeah.
And also, the run game, Charbonnet didn't look that good, but he looked way better than Kenneth
Charbonnet
Walker.
actually did look good if you watched this.
I watched it. He did not look that good.
He looked fine. He looked plenty fine. Like
I mean,
compared to
He was their
Kenneth
second best
Walker.
offensive player.
Kenneth Walker, he looked exponentially.
JSN had, I think,
120 yards.
90% of
It
Darnold's
wasn't
yards.
about 90, but it was like 80.
It was over 75 for
Yeah.
sure,
It was like
which is
80.
insane.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to guard one guy, like how successful is your offense going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are aggressively looking for receiving options. Not sure why it took them till this point if
Yeah.
they're not comfortable with it, including playing Tyreek Woolen at receiver.
Oh.
Apparently,
Interesting.
there's a reason why Tyreek Woolen switched to corner in college because he couldn't catch.
Well, maybe he's working on his catching ability.
Anyway, yeah, and this defense, like, it looked good, but the ending of that game was so bad. They had like 4 different chances to win. Also, Darnold fumbled the ball in the red zone. When they came back after, it's like they just sold so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I have them in the next tier. I don't think they're necessarily like a good football team. I think they're a solid football team. I think week 1 was really bad for them. I think a lot went wrong. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be an average team, which is why I have them in the next tier. I think this game was worse than what they'll play. I think this was a classic case of week 1. They were not ready.
Mm-hmm. Is that everybody for you?
Yeah, you ready to move on to the next tier?
Yeah. At number 20, I got the Cardinals. Number 19, I have the Colts. 18, Raiders. 17, I have the 49ers. And 16, I have the Bengals.
Oh, this tier is horrible.
What do you mean?
Absolutely horrific. At 20, I have the Patriots. At 19, I have the Raiders. 18, I have the Seahawks. 17, I have the 49ers. And 16, I have the Washington Commanders. Whoa. Don't understand why the Cardinals are at 20. That's absolutely
Where are
insane.
your Cardinals? Holy.
Where
what?
they should be. We were both high on the Cardinals.
Yeah, and then they didn't do crap.
And they got a win. Their defense looked plenty fine, allowing only 10 points. Yes, the Saints sucked. They got a win in week 1, though. There was never a question about this win in week 1 either. They just didn't play to the fullest of their ability, and that's a good thing. I don't want you to play the fullest of your ability in week 1 because if that's your max, I want you to get better throughout the year, and I think this Cardinals team is going to do that.
So if a team plays bad, the Broncos, they played really bad. I gotta raise them in my rankings.
No, and I didn't raise them. I kept them where they are because they got a win. They didn't do anything particularly special, but I kept them where they are.
You have
And putting them below the Colts is like insanity when you agree this is a playoff team.
I don't know if this is a playoff team.
Oh my god.
Dude,
But
they
you're
look
considering it, right?
So
You're considering
bad.
it though, right?
Yeah, I think the Colts could be a playoff team.
Bro, what are we talking about?
I think
Oh my
any of
gosh,
these
you're
teams
taking
could
so
potentially
much-
make the
They're taking
playoffs.
so much off of week 1 from the Colts. They are going to be a terrible football team still. Garbage.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna win like 5 games.
I'm sure.
It's like freaking ridiculous, man. You think they dominated the worst team in the NFL outside
Hey.
the Saints?
And the Cardinals couldn't dominate the worst team in the NFL.
I don't care if you dominate week 1. I don't care if you dominate. You just need a win.
Of course, a Broncos fan would think that.
No, it's just logic. It's what we do every single year in week 1. But as soon as the Packers have a good week 1, week 1's the only thing that matters. And that's what we're gonna see
Well,
for
that's
the
not
rest of your
true.
rankings, I'm sure. But
I should have put the Colts in the top 5 if I didn't care about.
no, that we might as well not make the video if you even considered that.
Well, I didn't. I'm just saying, like, if I thought the way you think, I think.
No, you're thinking the exact way I think you think. We sound kind of weird, but
Yeah.
I mean, I have the Patriots 20. We already talked about them. The Raiders at 19.
I had them at 18.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they're a good team.
they're a fine team.
They can beat a good team. They
Yeah,
could
the
lose
team
to a
was
bad
super
team.
Underwhelming.
I saw a couple of his runs looked good,
Mm-hmm.
but all the other ones, no. He also fell over on a 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
That was bad.
That was sad.
But I'm not concerned about Genty. I felt like Gino actually played pretty good outside of that one terrible decision. I don't know what that was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gino played pretty solid.
And that defense looked decent as well.
Yeah,
Like,
but I think this is exactly what I expected from them. Like, they're just fine.
yeah, that's why I didn't move them or the
Yeah.
Raiders. I think I moved them up a little bit, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just about the same as I expected.
Yeah.
Talk about the Seahawks already. The 49ers were a weird one, especially with Kittle going out now. But McCaffrey looked really good in the receiving game. Like him to be more efficient in the run game. But again, I don't think there was like 3 running backs, 3 run games that I felt like looked good this week. And the rest of them, I was like, wow, everybody can't run the ball. I think that's going to change in these upcoming few weeks. I think everyone's going to get back in their groove and figure out their system. And they're going to figure out how to run the ball. But almost no one could run the football this week.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not taking that too much into account. McCaffrey looks healthy, and that's what I'm taking into account. If he's going to get these touches, that's why I think the Saints have no chance. I don't know how they're going to stop McCaffrey this week. I think he beats them alone.
Did you see his, like, when he got hit and he had that gigantic speed boost?
No.
It was insane. It was like he's going 30 miles an hour for, like, 10 yards.
I mean, McCaffrey, when he's healthy, is just ridiculous. It's not
Mm-hmm.
fair. So if he stays healthy, that's awesome. But this is just a solid team, and I think it's made a lot of wins because their schedule's very, very, very easy.
I thought Purdy played really well, except for all of his, like, bad plays. You know what I mean? All of his, like, he had 3 bad plays. If you just deleted those, he had the best QB game of the week.
Yeah, but he threw 2 picks.
Yeah, those were really bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I saw more positives from Purdy than negatives. But
Yeah, like Bo
scoring
Nix.
13, or I think they scored 13.
Yeah, they only put up like 13.
Obviously, they had the missed kick, the blocked kick. Jake Moody's not there anymore. That's a huge win for the
20
Niners.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I have to see them actually do well for me to move them above this. I had the Bengals at 16. You had them.
No, not in this tier. They didn't look good this week.
That was pathetic.
But the reason I don't have them here is because I think that if they looked even worse than this and they got out of there with a win, you're happy if you're the Bengals. Like, all they cared about this week was getting the week 1 win. Because they would have made the playoffs last year if they got a week 1 win against Jacoby Brissett and the Patriots. And they can beat any team in the league. Because this offense is going to be ridiculous. We know it's going to be ridiculous. And guess what part of their team looked bad? The offense. I'm not worried about the offense. Not worried one bit. They got Jamar Chase, they got Joe Burrow, who both looked bad, just like they do in every week 1 of every single NFL season. Not worried at all about this Bengals team, and the fact that they got a week 1 win makes me more confident than ever that they're going to be making the playoffs this season. Because if they can rack up these early season wins against these bad football teams, I'm confident they can steal a couple wins from good football teams. So all they need is like 10 wins to get in the playoffs. I think they can get there.
I mean, they can. I agree. They can beat anybody. But if they played this against against almost any other opponent, they're losing.
Right, which is why they're lucky this is their schedule. And
I
they're
think-
lucky they were able to get out of there with the win.
I think Burrow has an argument to be the worst quarterback this week.
Whoa, that's crazy.
He single-handedly, he was
He
so
turned the
bad in
ball
the second half. He took, I don't know how many sacks he took, but it was actually ridiculous.
I didn't watch the game, but because we were watching other games, but I heard that the protection was like so bad.
He did his classic step into the sack. You know that one I showed you? I didn't show you the plays, but I showed you the thing on reel. There was like sack by Myles Garrett, sack by McGuire,
Yeah.
sack by Garrett. Those were all terrible.
Yeah,
And that just dropped them back. They almost got a safety on that drive because of that.
yeah.
And he had like 130 yards. But I'm not too concerned. I think I might have moved them down like 1 spot or something. But
I think I moved them up a little bit, but not because they play well, because they got a win. And so on the power rankings, I think they're going to continue to climb. And
I think moving things based on if they get the win or not is kind of dumb.
well, it does affect things. Like, power rankings aren't just about how good the team is; it's also about how they're doing.
I don't like standings power rankings. I think
Well, I'm
those
not
are
doing them
dumb.
based off just the standings, but you're also doing them just based off how they played this last week, and I'm not doing that. I'm doing this based off of what I think they're going to be playing in just a couple of weeks.
I think this is more
And
of
them getting the win is going to give them so much motivation. It's like momentum that they need. They haven't had in a long time. And when this team gets hot, they get hot. They win like 8 games in a row. We've seen it so many times. I think they're going to get hot, and it's going to be early. Maybe even week 3 against. Is that us? Oh frick! I think we're week 3. Dang it!
Yeah, maybe they will get hot week 3.
That would suck, but maybe we'll play them before they get hot. That'd be awesome. But
Okay, is that everybody in your tier?
I also have the Commanders here. People are not gonna be happy about that.
How? Okay, I get you don't like the Commanders. How are they below the Cardinals?
Because I think the Cardinals have more pieces on their team, and I think that they both got a win. They both played a bad football team. I don't think the Commanders look good. You can look at the score and be like, "Oh, it was 20-6. That's a good game." Bro, they put up 20 points and they have a bottom 10 defense against the Giants.
Their defense looked a lot better than you'd expect.
Yeah, you know why? Because what we were talking about earlier, they played probably the worst offensive line in the NFL, maybe second worst. One of the generational terrible offensive lines. We have 2 this season. This is one of them.
Who's the other
And they
one?
play without Andrew Thomas, the Texans.
Oh, yeah.
And they play without Andrew Thomas. This pass rush is not going to be good. Deron Payne's not going to be a good pass rusher. Their edges aren't good. Like this,
Dorrance Armstrong had 9 pressures.
that's the problem we have here. It wasn't
That's
him.
crazy.
If you watch the game, it was just absolutely pathetic on the Giants' part. And I felt like the Giants' defense didn't even play well outside of the pass rush, which is like what Daniels is supposed to be good at, is avoiding the pass rush and delivering. And he wasn't able to get drives put together. He had like 1 or 2 in the first half, and they couldn't score again. It felt like to me, like, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, they just dominated from start to finish. I feel like the Giants had a ton of chances to win this football game. Like a ton. If they played any better, I think this is a 1-possession game at the end of the game. Because they had multiple times where they could have brought it into 1 possession and, they took 4 sacks in a row or they threw an interception or whatever it is. They made a mistake. And so I think this team looked absolutely horrific, and I was already low on them. This is a round where I had them, so I just didn't move them. because I think that this is where they belong. They don't get to move up for looking bad against the Giants, who looked horrible this week. And I try not to move things anyway for week 1, so like I just didn't see a way I could move these guys. I think they're going to get killed by the Packers this week. As sad as it is, I'm cheering for them, but I think they're going to get killed by the Packers. They get outmatched in a lot of ways, and this team I don't think is going to make the playoffs.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be a closer game than you think.
Yeah, if you guys aren't as good as people are acting like, it's definitely going to be closer, but if you guys are the 4th best team in the league, where people put 2, we saw a guy put you at 2 in the league, you should kill this team. Like, it shouldn't be close if you're the 2nd best team in the league.
I think we win by 10 would be my prediction.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't allow, if this defense is as good as that guy's acting like, then you shouldn't allow more than 17 points to this team.
I mean, that's in the realm of possibility.
And you guys should put up like 30 with how good you act like your offense is. You act like it's elite, so. And this defense is terrible. It's not good at all. No safeties, 1 corner who's a really good number 2. You have
Disrespect is crazy.
You have Marshawn Lattimore, who I've never seen someone so washed in my entire life. He's so washed. Maybe Jair Alexander. You have a bad pass rush. You have Bobby Wagner, who's just getting older. And he's like their only good defender. I don't know. I don't trust this team at all, and I think that people are way too high on them just because they're obsessed with Jaden Daniels.
Did you see? This is completely unrelated. Did you see what Xavier Howard said? Oh, I told you, right?
Maybe.
Did I tell you? Xavier Howard was like, yeah, so we knew if we just took away Tua's first read, he'd just get scared and throw us the ball.
Really?
Yeah, but he said he knew that from when he played for the Dolphins.
Oh. That's a crazy thing to say. But yeah, I mean, that's why I have them here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think the Colts will keep improving, and I think the Commanders are going to stay the same, if not get worse.
Yeah. I mean, I just think this is an offense that can keep up with anyone.
I disagree with that statement.
Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin.
Okay, so they have a really good receiver.
And a really good quarterback.
And like an average quarterback, above average quarterback.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
He's not a top 5 quarterback like people are going to act like, and this team's not good
He's
enough.
a top 10 quarterback.
Their run game looks bad.
Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt averaged like 8 yards a carry.
Yeah, did you know he had a 60-yard run or whatever? Like, most of his yards came on 1 run.
I mean,
I think he had 2 positive runs, that were actually more than 3 or 4
dang.
yards. He did not look that
He
good.
better cook for my fantasy waiver claims.
I don't know. I'm just telling you guys, this team is not as good as people think. We watched that whole game. I was watching the whole time. They did not look good at all. I don't trust this team at all.
We'll see.
But let's move on to the next tier.
I have the Texans at number 15, the Cowboys at number 14,
Oh my
the
gosh.
Falcons at number 13, the Commanders at number 12, and the Buccaneers at number 11.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know. I'm stumbling over my words. That's so ridiculous. Cardinals at 15 for me. Falcons at 14. Bengals at 13. Texans at 12. And Bucks at 11.
Like the same ranking.
That's just not true. I don't know how the Cowboys are even anywhere near this tier.
I think they can beat anybody.
That's just... What are we talking about, man?
They had a good game against the Super Bowl champions.
A division game in week 1, and that's the reason you think they can beat anybody.
Mm-hmm.
How much did you move them up? 8 spots?
No, I moved them up 1 or 2.
Yeah, well, that's just not true.
Yes, it is. Okay, what? I had them at number 14,
Well, that's ridiculous.
and they're at number 14. That was before Micah. It was gone, but
Oh my goodness, dude. This team is their defense sucks. Defense is the backbone of how you win games, how you stay close in games and steal wins. They don't have that. Their only chance
you overrate defense.
No,
you don't need a defense.
underrate defense so much. You don't understand, but this
You have the Bengals in this tier.
right. The Bengals offense is way better than the Cowboys offense. We've seen that on display for multiple seasons
And the
in a row.
Cowboys
And the
defense
Bengals
is better.
got 9 wins with that offense. The Cowboys offense is worse in a harder division. Well, not a harder.
the defense
but
is
a
better.
harder schedule than the Bengals have had the last few years. The Cowboys' schedule's tough.
The defense is better than the Bengals.
That's not saying anything, first of all. Second of all, the Cowboys' defense is still terrible. They don't have their best defender.
I mean, obviously.
Like DeMarre Overshow.
Oh, yeah.
He is their current best defender, in my opinion, and he is not playing.
I guess that's true. I just feel like this team's a team that can play up to any team. So why would I have them
On their
lower?
best day, maybe. But, you could say that about
You
a lot
can't
of
move
teams.
someone down from playing well against the Super Bowl
I didn't move them
champions.
that far down. I just moved other people up.
I just didn't think no one else I deserved to move up.
I mean, everyone in this tier is on a different tier than them.
Well, that's just not true.
It is.
No, it's not.
Like every team in this, like the fact that you have them ahead of Bengals just shows that you only care about what happened in week 1. Your power rankings from week 1 are going to be so far different from the end of the season, and mine are going to be way closer because I actually am doing based on what's going to happen.
Okay,
instead of
we're
what happened
changing
in week
these
1.
every week, so it doesn't even matter.
Yes, it does. You're trying to still be right. Trying
Yeah,
to be close to
I'm
what's
trying to be
gonna happen.
right. I'm not predicting what it's going to be in week 18. I'm saying what it is right
I'm
now.
not predicting what's going to be week 18 either, but you still have that in the back of your head to move somewhat.
Okay, then the Patriots are way too low.
Well, not necessarily, because I think the Patriots...
I'm not making a prediction. I'm saying what they are this week.
Right, but like this isn't like how they played last week. This is if they played another game right now.
Yeah.
Like another game right now, which is the Cowboys are going to lose to anyone in this tier.
The Cowboys play the Bengals, they win.
No way. No way. Not if the Bengals play anywhere near what they're good at.
Who else do you have in this tier?
The Falcons, I think
The
Falcons are a better
Cardinals?
team. Yeah, Cardinals are definitely a better team.
Cowboys destroy the Cardinals.
I don't understand what your thought process is. Who do the Cardinals play this week? I want to know. 'Cause I bet they win, and you're gonna be
I
like,
think it's
see,
the-
I was so high on the Cardinals at the beginning of the year.
Was it the Falcons? No, I'm in the
That's
Bucks.
That doesn't sound right, but
I don't remember.
we'll see. We had the Falcons in here. We can talk about them real fast. I think Penix looked good. Drake London got a ton of targets as we were expecting. He is hurt though, questionable.
I think he's
I
playing.
think he's fine, but I think they had a chance to win this game. Young Wei Koo missed a game-tying kick after Penix was able to put them in position. Just kind of unfortunate. He's been really, really not great last couple of seasons. You were talking about that a lot on Sunday, how he's very overrated as a kicker.
If his name wasn't Younghoe Koo, and I don't understand why he's so overrated. I think
He was good his first year.
because I remember I think it was Madden 22 when we did our rebuild. I think he was so good.
He was good his first season, but he's gotten progressively
But
worse. every
like
year.
last year, I remember there's so many times where I'm like, why is he missing this 40-yarder? And I just feel like every game I watch of the Falcons, there's a missed Younghoe Koo kick.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised for them to move off of him pretty soon because I just feel like he's just been losing them a lot of games that they could win.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what happened in that game. They played well. Their defense played pretty well against the Bucs, who have a high-powered offense. They stopped Bucky really well. Don't know how much to take away from that. Like we've talked about multiple times, no team could really run the ball. Very few teams could, and I trust the Bucs to get that up and going. I think the Falcons will win their next matchup. I think they should have won this one. And this is a team that I think is going to continue to get even higher than this. It's who I have winning the division. I think this is a very good football team with Penix at the helm, who played pretty much how I expected. Very good to come and start off the year.
I mean, we had two big questions about them. Will Penix carry over his good play from last season? Looking like yes. I don't know. It wasn't as good as the Panthers game, but he wasn't playing the Panthers.
Right.
But obviously, still a very good quarterback game. And then, will the young pass rushers look good? James Pierce had 4 pressures.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he led all rookies in pressures. So, it's looking good there. The run game, Algier looked bad. Bijan looked garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not taking away anything from Bijan in the receiving game. And same thing as I said about whatever his name is, Dylan Sampson.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Bijan needs to be able to run between the tackles to be a good running back.
Yeah.
And they need him to be able to do that. And if he could do that, they would have won this game easily.
Yeah, for sure. That I basically said it all.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't move them just because I was impressed by Penix and the pass rush, but then the run game really let me down. I think they definitely have potential.
Yeah.
To move maybe into the back end of the top 10. I don't know.
Bengals we already talked about. Texans. This is a weird one for me because I think they have a top 5 defense. This secondary is really good. This pass rush is amazing. They have good linebackers. Like I feel like they just have a really good defense. Just a really, really good defense. I think there's a lot of elite defenses right now. There's like 5 or maybe 4 elite defenses. You know what I'm saying? Or that can be elite this season. The Texans showcased that ability to be a great defense right away. I feel like the Texans should have won this game, fumbled it away, kind of. They did allow Puka to have a pretty big game or a giant game. But I still think this is going to be a good team. This offensive line is so worrying, though. It's what's going to be holding them back. If they had a good offensive line, this is a top 10 team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't run the ball, and their line couldn't block.
Exactly.
So everything I was weird about the Texans they showed is still a problem. Stroud took a couple bad sacks. So everything that they showed last year that was bad, and then he didn't throw it to Nico Collins very much. I think he had 3 catches for 25 yards or something.
Yeah.
That's a problem. This defense looked good. I think they held the Rams to like 17 points or less. Was it 13 or 17?
I think it was 13, actually.
Yeah. So really good showing from their defense, but the offense has so many problems with it. I just don't think this team's going to ever be... I don't think they're going to win a playoff game this year. I mean, I guess I said that the last 2 years, and they still did, but definitely not a team that's going to make noise in the playoffs unless they can fix at least one of those two issues.
I think that the AFC is very stacked at the top with good teams that they'll have to play in the first round of the playoffs. I think they're going to win their division pretty easily. But because of the wild card teams they're going to have to face in the first round, I just don't know how they're going to get a win in the first round of the playoffs
I
this
think
season.
the Colts,
Oh my god.
they have to keep this up. I had them way below the
Please
Texans.
stop talking about the Colts. These clips are going to be so bad at the end of the year.
But if the Colts keep on this track,
They're not going to.
but if they can,
They can't.
they're winning their division.
Okay, but that's like saying if the Saints were able to keep on their track last season.
Yeah, what if they were?
They weren't. Everyone knew they weren't.
Yeah, but no one knows that about the Colts. This is a different team.
You made fun of the people that predicted the Saints. to
Yeah,
do
that's
well.
because I knew they were bad.
Yeah, and you should know that about the Colts.
I don't know. I think the Colts have a lot of potential.
Bucks were also here, obviously. I feel like they're a good football team.
Yeah, I didn't
The
move
offense could have been better for sure. I think the run game, like we were talking about, just didn't look good, but I'm sure that'll fix. And Ibuka looked great in his debut, as we expected, and so I think this is gonna be a good football team. I think they're gonna lose the division to the Falcons, but definitely still gonna be competing for a playoff spot.
Yeah, I didn't move them at all. I feel like I saw just what I expected.
Exactly. Is anybody else in this tier?
No.
Okay, let's move on to the next tier.
All right, going into the top 10. At 10, I have the Broncos. 9, I have the Chargers. 8, I have the Steelers. 7, I have the Rams. And number 6, I have the Detroit Lions.
Okay, so definitely gonna have a couple things we're gonna have to hash out. Let's try not to
Uh-oh.
argue too much.
I feel like this is
Um,
very cut. We have all the same top 10.
Yes, no, for sure, but they're just in different spots. So number 10, I have the Kansas City Chiefs.
Whoa!
I'll explain. Let me explain. Number 9, I have the Chargers. Number 8, I have the Packers. Number 7, I have the Broncos. And number
Bro.
6, I have the Lions. So let's start.
What
let's,
is
let's start with the
this?
Chiefs at 10.
This
Let's
is
start-
so bad.
Hey, let's start with the Chiefs at 10.
These are the worst ones of your list.
No, that's not true. Let's start with the
Whoa.
Chiefs at 10.
You think the rest of your list sucks that bad?
No, I just
These
think
are
that my
so
list is
bad.
actually good. So let's start with the Chiefs at 10. They looked horrible in that first half. Mahomes looked awful.
But Mahomes definitely
But it's
looked
week one.
better in the second
Yeah,
half.
he looks fine in the second half. The receiving core is bad. Even if Worthy comes back, it's bad till Rice comes back, and even then, it's like they have one receiver.
Their defense
Um,
looked amazing. Wait, that's not true at all.
No, it's not. Their defense looked
Their
horrible.
defense is amazing,
But it looked horrible.
but it is good.
And I don't know. Their secondary got absolutely destroyed. Obviously, it's week one, but like their secondary has been showing signs of getting worse throughout the end of last season, and now it's showing it again. That is concerning. And this is a team that has the best coach in the NFL. This is a team that plays how they're supposed to in week one usually. They came out and they played kind of how I expect the Chiefs to be this season. A good football team's going to play close games, but they're not the same Chiefs that they have been. Mahomes, it continues to get worse every season. And, I don't think he's going to be a top 10 guy this year. I think we had him right outside, or maybe you had him at 10, I had him at 11 or something like that.
Something like that.
Like, he's still a solid quarterback, but guys, he's not the 2018 Mahomes that we saw. He doesn't make those types of plays anymore. Yeah, he'll make a cool, let me throw it over the side of my head. That doesn't make him a good quarterback. If this defense isn't a top 5 unit, which it's going to be hard for them to be top 5 with these other defenses around them, they have a really tough schedule. They play in the best division in football. I mean, this is going to be a tough get for the Chiefs, who now have lost an in-division game. That's a big deal for them. Like, in this tough division, the Chargers now and the Broncos are both competing for this division very seriously. And they're last place in the division right now, which obviously doesn't mean anything, but, that's not something that you really have ever said about the Chiefs in the last 4 seasons, 5 seasons, maybe 8 seasons, So I think this is a bigger deal than people realize, and I still think they're a top 10 team. I have them here for a reason. But I want to put the Chargers over them because I think the Chargers outplayed them in a lot, the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
I never really questioned the well, the only question I had was, will the Chargers charger this? Not I never felt like the Chiefs were playing well enough to actually win the game, if that makes sense. And Herbert looked amazing. They were able to play, and obviously I don't want to take too much away from this week 1 game, but I think I had the Chiefs around 8 or 9, and so for losing, I think it's fair to move them down a spot or 2, because I was lower on the Chiefs coming into the year than most people, so I think it's fair to put them around here, just moving them down a couple spots.
Well, I like moving teams a lot in the first power rankings.
Yeah, I got that.
Not a lot, not excessive.
Yeah, but
But-
that's not true.
With the Chiefs, it's almost like with this coaching staff with Mahomes, it's hard to move them down this far after week 1. So I think I only moved them down 1 spot.
Well, I only moved them down 1 or 2 spots, but I just
You're really low
I'm
on them
not
going
I'm
into
not
the year.
meat riding them going into the season, acting like that they're just the best team in the league because they're
I
not.
mean, they were just in the Super Bowl, so.
Yeah, and they looked like a bottom. They looked like the worst team in the playoffs. They were horrible in the Super Bowl. So that's the last 2 games they played, the Eagles mollywhopped them, and then a team that a lot of people had outside their top 10 beat them from start to finish. So I don't know. Obviously, Chargers also went up a little bit. I had the Chargers.
Chargers
at
are
9.
going to go up a
You have
lot
Chargers
more.
at 9 as well?
Yeah, I think they have a lot of potential to
Yeah.
go even higher.
I think this run game is very concerning for me, especially since I hated Hampton as a pro. Well, I didn't hate him, but
You did.
Well, compared to everyone else, I did. Like I would have been like he's a good prospect if he was like rated where he's supposed to be. But people were like in the first round. That's a horrible pick in my opinion. Average like 3 yards a carry. It's about what I expect against good defenses, and they need to be able to run the football. But the thing I will say about the Chargers is I'm ranking them here. I think this can be a much higher. Like I guess there's not much higher to go, but they can move up even a few spots from here. Get maybe all the way up to 5 by the end of the season if they continue to do this thing where they let Herbert take over the game. This is a phenomenal quarterback. And I told you this before the game and the season multiple times. I don't know if you remember, but
Yeah.
I kept being like, if they let him throw the ball, this team will be higher. But I think they're going to run it too much. And in that Chiefs game, they didn't. They threw the ball a lot. They came out firing. Am I confident that Harbaugh's going to do that? No. That's why I have him here at 9. But they will move up if they continue to let Herbert throw and be Herbert. Because he had 3 touchdowns. Looked athletic out there. He was accurate. He commanded the offense. Like he did everything you want from him. And I think if he continues to do that, and he doesn't turn the ball over very often, that's something Herbert is amazing at. And if they continue to let him do this, then this is a top 5 ceiling team.
Yeah. They have great defense, obviously. Their 2 big questions were their receivers and the run game. The receivers, they had a lot of people step up.
Quinn
Keenan
Johnson.
Allen looks like he can play as a third receiver still. And Quinn Johnson had 2 touchdowns, 80 yards. He didn't have any drops.
And Ladd's just a good receiver.
Yeah, Lad was really good. He was separating like an insane rate.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good football team.
Plus, once Rondé Gadsden takes over the tight end spot, they're going to be cooking.
Okay, let's avoid the hot topic for now and move to the Lions at 6. This was a weird one because going into the season, I had the Lions higher than most people. I had them at 2, I think. So I didn't know how far to move them down because they looked horrible. I mean, out of a top 10, they definitely looked the worst, and it's not close, right? So bad. Goff looked like he had no idea what he was doing. Checked the ball down to running backs, I think, 15 times.
Something like that.
Like historic levels of checkdowns. Like literally stats are historic. Like these are records for these checkdowns. Like how many yards they were getting on these checkdowns and stuff like that. And yeah, if you want to give that some credit to the Packers defense, of course they played a great game. But this Lions offense looked out of sync. It was so weird. It's like they got down to the red zone multiple times. We're just not able to convert. They threw a pick in the red zone. And they would take so much time off the clock and just look so inefficient on drives. I feel like a lot of the time you'd see the Lions, and if they took off the clock, it'd be like they're just running a great drive. But I feel like they can. There was like in the third quarter maybe, or maybe it was the second quarter. I feel like they took the entire quarter and they got like maybe 3 points out of it, or maybe that was the drive they threw the pick. Like I was just like, this looked so inefficient. Like it just didn't look like a good drive. They weren't able to put it together like they were last season, and so I'm putting it here at 6 because I still think this can be the second best team in the league. They obviously deserve to move down though, because even though it's week 1, when you look that bad, you got to move down, right? But I still think this team is so unbelievably talented, and I think they just need to put this together. They need a little bit of time, give them a little bit of leeway, and I think this team is going to be completely fine. I think this will still be the team that comes out of the North. However, if they play like that, I'm not even confident they're making playoffs, right? I don't think they would playing like that. So it's very, very, we need to see more from them. This was a very hard team to rank.
It also sucks for them, other teams that we had expectations for that played as bad as them played garbage teams.
Right.
And they played one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah, they played a top 10 team. So.
Yeah, easily a top 10 team, if not top 5 team.
Which they're not.
90% of people would agree that they're top 5.
It's because people glaze the Packers for some reason.
So when you play that bad, the Broncos played the Packers, they're also looking like that. That Broncos team, I'm saying.
I don't think they would have looked like that. Our defense would have
Your
played
defense
better.
was ready, but your offense was maybe even worse than that.
No. Whoa. Our run game looked solid.
I don't know.
Their run game looked like it couldn't run the ball.
David Montgomery, honestly, was better than Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not a better running back.
Gibbs had 10 catches for 30 yards.
Right. This team
They
looked bad.
miss Ben Johnson. They don't miss Aaron Glenn at all, but they definitely miss Ben Johnson.
I think it's a big adjustment going to a new scheme with the same players. In Lambeau, a divisional game this. There's obviously things to take away. This looked so bad, right? But I really, really don't want to overreact until we get a couple more weeks into the season, see if they can figure it out, because I think this football team can. This is such a talented team not to be an amazing football team. That's why I had them at 2 going into the year. And I really think that in a couple weeks I'll have them right back at 2. I think that's how good this team is. I just think they need a second to figure it out. Week 1's always weird.
I mean, they better. They might go down to like 15 if they play like this for another 3 weeks.
Well, if they play like this for another 3 weeks, they're probably below 15. Like, it's like this team's doomed.
Yeah, but like also
4 weeks to play like
they're
that.
so talented. They got best running back duo. In your opinion, a top 3 receiver. In your opinion, the second best receiver in football, which is crazy. But
a good
either
number
way,
two,
a top
a
10.
great number 2.
Okay, if you want to take a call Amon-Ra like that, and they have a great number 3 in Jameson. Oh, just kidding. I don't know. Jameson Williams is a great number 2. Yeah, like this whole offensive talent, and Jared Goff's top 10 quarterback,
A great tight end.
or at least top 15,
top 5 tight end.
top 3 tight end, right?
No, top
Wait.
5.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, this team should be way better than that. That was a
And their
pathetic
defense,
performance.
their defense actually showed some things. Like the
run stopping.
The run
their
stopping
runs-
was really good. I feel like in the second half, the defense actually came out and looked really good. Jordan Love threw 2 balls that should have been intercepted very easily.
Yeah, that was not to do
Jordan
with
Love
the-
didn't look good in the second half, and I know he didn't really throw much in the second half either. But when he did, it didn't look good. The first half, he looked way better in the second half, and I think they just made an adjustment. And this defense has so much potential. Like, this is a good defense. They have a really good safety tandem, probably the best in the NFL. Actually,
I
definitely
didn't
best in
see
the NFL.
Kirby Joseph that game.
Brian Branch is phenomenal though.
Brian Branch played a crazy game. He was the only one on
Doing
defense that
anything.
showed up.
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson looked like an average pass rusher, which was really good for how the Lions played.
But also, he's coming off a giant injury.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't expect Aiden Hutchinson to absolutely cook his first day back. Like, there's just a lot of things that went wrong for this team that I think they can fix. And I think, honestly, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if they just fixed a few things, this game's a lot closer. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it could have been.
So, I don't know. I'm still confident in this team. I think there's an argument to say they should still be in the top 5 because I think this is such a good team.
That's a take.
But I had the Packers at 8. Let's talk about this. Let's try not to get too
Before we
angry.
talk about the Steelers first.
Okay, well, the Steelers aren't in this tier for me, so that's why I wasn't talking about them yet. So how about we talk about them in the next
You
tier?
think the Steelers are better than the Packers
Yeah, I do.
after beating the Jets by 2 points?
Yeah, in week 1.
I'm just saying this offense, I think, is not going to have a better, at least pass game performance than it did this week.
If Rodgers plays like this team will be exponentially better than the Packers.
That's insane. This
This is a
defense,
top 4
this
defense.
defense looked terrible.
It's week 1. We know this defense will be good.
But the thing is, like with the Broncos defense, if they play bad, I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure they'll be good. With the Steelers, it's like they have so many old people. That kind of sounds weird. But
They're
TJ Watt had
stacked.
one play and didn't look good the rest of the
He
game.
did look good the whole game. He was applying pressure the whole time.
Did
They
not
had to
look
run
like
the
that.
opposite direction of him the entire game.
As a pass rusher, he was not winning.
That's just not true. I don't think you watched the game.
Armand Membu cooked him.
That's just not true. He was in the backfield all day long.
He had one play.
He had multiple
He had one
great
play.
plays. This defense, I'm confident will be good. You
And-
came into the season saying they're going to be the best defense in the NFL.
I just was not impressed.
Is there a top 4 defense?
But they're so old. Like all their key players are getting old. They just got Slay. He could fall off. They just got Ramsey. Ramsey had a good game. He had the game-saving PBU. I guess he just
Yeah.
slammed into Garrett Wilson. But
Yeah.
Patrick Queen sucks.
Okay, but like what you're forgetting is like this is the same thing as the Bengals for me. I'm moving them up from where they were because I believe that what we saw is a good thing. Because what we saw is the
What we
offense
saw-
thrive.
What we
And
saw.
we know the defense is going to be good. Seeing which one would you rather saw? Them winning a defensive battle or an offensive shootout? It's the shootout because that means your offense is good enough to put up 34 points against a pretty good Jets defense versus your defense, who you are pretty confident is going to be at least a good unit. This team is going to be very, very solid, and Rodgers proved he can still ball.
I mean, they're playing Kenneth.
Okay, take
whatever his
Kenneth
name is.
Gainwell off the
Yeah.
game, and this team gets exponentially better even off that.
Caleb Johnson needs to be playing way more.
I just disagree with that statement.
Jalen Warren needs. We were arguing so much about Caleb Johnson versus Jalen Warren.
We forgot about Kenneth Gainwell, apparently.
Yeah, they should. Either of those backs are obviously exponentially better than Jalen
Right.
Warren. I mean,
But
Kenneth Gainwell.
Yeah, it's if Arthur Smith wasn't there, this is easily a top 5 team. But I think they can be that despite him.
Who else is in your top 5? You have the Rams in your top 5, huh?
Yeah, which I think is valid. Are they in this tier for you?
Mm-hmm.
They
I have them
are.
at 7.
Interesting.
I just didn't like what I saw at all from the Rams. Their offense looked very slow. Their defense, like besides Puka played amazing, and then that defense looked good. But it's the
I'm not-
Texans.
I'm not afraid of
It's
it.
just a weird game. I don't feel like there was much I could take from it.
And
And
I
a lot
had
of
the
these other
Rams here
teams.
going into the season, so that's why I kept them.
I dropped them a few spots, but that's because I had other teams moving up.
I don't think it's fair to drop them. I think this is still an offense I'm very confident in, and this defense
I'm
is
worried
only
about-
getting better.
I'm worried about the offense.
I don't know how you're worried about the offense. Stafford looked good. That's
Looked
the one
fine.
thing to be worried about. Bro had like a 75% completion percentage, 230
He did not
yards, and
have-
a touchdown. He did. You want to go look at the stats? I'll look him up for you right now. Because, like, surprisingly, he was that good.
I don't think so.
Here, let me look it up.
From what I saw, it didn't look like he was playing that well.
Let me look it up for you real fast. We are on ESPN. Rams, Texans, box score. Matthew Stafford, 21 of 29, 245 yards and a touchdown. So even better than I said, actually. About
3
70
sacks.
About a 75% completion percentage, 245 yards and a touchdown. He looked good against a top 4 defense. Right?
They put up 14 points.
Right, but, like, things go wrong. Kyron Williams looked not good. Average 3.7 a
It's not
carry.
even that bad for him.
But, like, this offense is going to be completely fine. I don't understand how you can move them down for this performance. Obviously, they didn't put up the points that you want. They got the win. Matthew Stafford looked good, which was the biggest question mark coming into the season with the back. And I'm not worried about this run game or these receivers. So,
I mean, putting up 14 points is kind of pathetic.
I mean, you have to agree, though, that you're not worried about this offense when it comes to the weapons around it. The biggest question mark was him.
And he still took 3 sacks.
3's not that many against,
3's a lot. Anything more than 2.
against the best pass rush duo in the league.
Okay.
He took 3 sacks against the best pass rush duo in the league in week 1. I'm not
Taking
that
3
worried about
sacks anytime is ridiculous.
3 sacks is not that many.
That's a
for,
lot.
For not a top-tier offensive line, it's not.
They have a good offensive line.
Like, obviously, if, like, Love
Their
took
guards
3
are
sacks,
really
that'd be a really big problem. But if, like, if Stroud took 3 sacks, it's like, that's a good game.
That's not a good game.
It might be for their offensive line. The offensive line is terrible.
Okay, well, I guess their offensive line had a good game.
Oh, you're
Still
acting
took
like
3
he took, like,
sacks.
6 sacks. He took 3. People take 8 sacks. They take 7. They take 6 all the time. 3 is a lot less than that. And they got the win.
Yeah,
I don't know
if
how
you're
you
taking
win.
8 sacks, you shouldn't be in the league.
I mean, that's just not how it works.
8 sacks is insane.
I don't know. I think you're underrating the Rams for sure. But let's talk about the Packers at 8. I think this is a fair spot. I moved up quite a bit from the last time we had our power rankings. I know a lot of people are way higher on them. For some reason, they love to glaze the Packers. They're like, oh my gosh, they got Micah Parsons. Let's talk about that 24/7. I don't want to. It's kind of boring. His sack wasn't even that cool, guys. I don't know why we're glazing
It was
so much.
pretty cool.
Just because it was the first sack in a Packer uniform doesn't make it a good sack. Guess what? Jared Goff was running with brick feet and didn't see the guy. Cool. It took him 6 seconds to sack it. Cool. Like, do not care. Yes, Mike Parsons is a great player. Yes, that improved their team a lot. This team is still... I'm not bought in. I think this might be too high for the Packers. I'm not bought in the Packers. They played a great week 1 game. Love showed me exactly what I saw last season, which is, hey, when he's schemed up open men, he can hit the guy because he's got a good arm. But when it comes to his decision-making, it's very lackluster. He sits in the pocket for a long time, so when it collapses, he's not as good because he's got a great offensive line. That's the reason I have him here mainly, is his offensive line was so freaking good. I didn't realize how good this offensive line was. I think people need to talk about that more. And if it continues to play at that level, it's going to be hard to lose football games. But I think that in that second half, we saw more of Jordan Love having to improvise and stuff. He threw 2 interceptions, essentially. One that got luckily called back somehow on a bad call.
It was a good call.
But I think that, obviously I'm not worried about the run game. I trust Josh Jacobs for sure. And like I said, it was week 1. But I think this is probably the team that had the best week 1, arguably. But I don't think that that's going to translate the whole season. I still think this is not a team that wins the North. I still think this is a team that is a wild card team. And I still think this is a football team that is being extremely overrated. Putting them at 2 and stuff is just ridiculous. Even McKay would agree with that. That's just too high. And I think that while this is a good football team, like I said, like the fact that people aren't confident they're going to beat the Commanders should tell you all you need to know.
You done?
Yeah.
Bro, that was ridiculous.
I don't know what I said that was ridiculous.
Everything.
Yeah, like what?
Everything.
Say one thing.
Jordan Love played just like he did last year.
In the second half of the game?
In the second half, he didn't do anything because he didn't have to.
Right. In the first half, he didn't really do anything either.
Yeah, he did. He made the throws he needed to.
Right. That's, literally, I gave him credit for that, too. I said when he schemed.
Okay, that's how the Packers' game plan is. Our
Right.
defense is now good enough that we don't have to make...
Right,
Jordan Love
so-
doesn't have to make plays.
So I'm agreeing with this. Like, I don't
What do you
know
think about
you're
the
saying.
defense?
This is insane. I think the defense looked very good for week 1. But I also think that if the Lions look like, I feel like a big part of it was the Lions looking bad as well. I also think that this defense has a lot to prove still. I don't think that you can confidently say they're a top 10 unit yet.
I mean, they're top 10 unit last year.
They
We had
weren't.
Micah Parsons
According
and
to
every
EPA per play, yeah, cool. I don't care about that stat. I
Points
care
allowed,
about
yards
watching
allowed.
them on the field against good football teams, and they did well this week. However, I need to see them against some other teams. They're playing the Commanders and Browns. They better get both those wins pretty easily. But I want to start seeing you guys go up against real teams, not in week one. I'm not confident in either side of the ball is my point. The thing I'm most confident in is Josh Jacobs, and that looked the worst this week. So that's
Okay, and you would say that's what you want.
right. But I'm saying that I'm coming into the year not happy with their like I moved them up. I don't know.
How low did you have them?
I mean, before the Micah Parsons trade, I had them like pretty low. But
What, do you know what ranking?
no, but I think it's
Probably
15.
That's your problem.
Before
Your
the Micah
problem.
Parsons trade, and then that moved them up, and then this moves them up a couple more spots. Yes, they look good, but you cannot put them in the top 5 yet. They're not on the same level as these top 5 teams.
I mean, they are. They're
You're
better.
just not. You're just being biased because you're a Packers fan.
I'm not being biased. I have them lower than almost everybody you see.
Right, because putting them at 2 is like you don't watch football. Right, like
Okay, that was a Vikings fan.
I don't know. I think it's kind of dumb to move them up this much from 1 week, 1 game. I'm not confident in this football team yet. I still don't think this is like a team I would ever bet on winning the Super Bowl.
Why not?
I don't think they're good enough.
We clearly are.
You don't have a Super Bowl caliber defense. You don't have a Super Bowl caliber offense.
We have both.
You said you have a Super Bowl caliber defense.
Yeah.
Super Bowl caliber defense is like top 5, by the way.
No, you don't need your top 5.
No, I said
defense
Super Bowl
wins.
caliber defense.
What does that mean? Like
Like top 5. Like this is a Super Bowl winning defense.
we don't need to have a top 5 defense win.
And like bare minimum top 10. We're not confident they're top 10 defense.
I'm
We said
confident
maybe
they're
9
top
or 10.
I think they're top 10 all. I think they're a top 10 defense, and I think they're a top 5 offense. But they're like obviously the back half. I don't know. I don't remember all
What
the
the
offenses.
heck? Top 5? Dude, you put up like 20 points.
Yeah, because we took our foot off the gas because our defense
No,
was playing
because
so
they
well.
controlled the clock because your defense couldn't get off the field.
You're really taking this as a negative for our defense.
No, obviously not. I moved them up. I said this defense looked better with Micah Parsons.
The
obviously.
corner stuck to the receivers. The
I don't
linebackers
think
made
they
all
really
the plays.
did. I think Goff just can't find open guys.
Our defensive line looked insane.
It looked fine.
You know when Van Ness, Gary, and Mike Parsons were on the field just for like 10 snaps, they had 6 yards in those 10 snaps?
Okay, cool. So you're pulling out 10 specific snaps. It's kind of weird.
Okay, what if we look at the whole game? They didn't do
Okay,
crap.
Yeah, and I think the Lions looked horrible, but I don't think the Packers necessarily shot.
We had so many pressures throughout all the players on our defense.
It's week 1. I don't know why when you're going to grasp that, but it's week 1. You're playing the Commanders this week.
So next week, so if we beat the Commanders by 13 points this week, what are you going to do?
You better beat them by 13 points. I have the Commanders at 16 and you guys at 8. You should win that game by double digits.
So there's just no way for us to move up.
No, this week you probably move up a spot if you won by a good amount, but like I think this game's gonna be closer than it should be because you guys aren't even that good. If you're a top 5 team, you should kill this team. You should destroy them. You are exponential. I think you're better than this team by a lot. Imagine someone that's not biased towards the Packers.
Okay, I don't know, because you're biased, so biased
And
against
you're
the Packers.
biased towards them.
I'm not.
Do you think you're exponentially better than the Commanders?
Yes.
In every way.
I wouldn't say exponentially because that's a very
Okay,
strong
where's your
word.
Commanders?
I had them at 12.
Okay, and you have that's too high. But you have them yourself at 4? 5?
Yeah, 4.
So okay, so 4 to 12, you should win that game by 13 points. The difference between
That's
the
my
4th best
prediction.
team and the 12th best team is very big. So I'm not moving you up because you do what I expect you to do. I'm putting you here based on the expectations. Like that's so dumb. If you guys
So
won
what?
by 30, then I
When's
move
the
you up.
week that we move that you're going to catch up
After
with
the Browns,
consensus?
probably. What's your week 4 game?
I don't know.
But like what I'm saying is like I'm not gonna catch up with consensus because you're going to drop games.
You got to get on the train before it's too late, and it probably already is too late.
Okay, if you want to say that, but at least I'm not on the Bryce Young train still. Or are you getting off that now?
I don't know
Taking
yet.
it.
I don't know. Then it's the Cowboys,
See, you guys' beginning of the schedule is the easiest part, huh?
Bengals, Cardinals,
You're probably gonna drop one of those 3.
probably.
But anyway, my point is, I'm not bought in on this team yet. They need
Then
to
we
prove
play the
more to me.
Steelers, Panthers,
I also think it's a big thing how they look in these games and how the other team looks in these games. You know, so I am excited to watch Thursday night football. If both teams look bad, then it's going to be exactly what That's not what Packers fans need to see. And if you come out there with a win, I think people are going to make excuses. So the Commanders are really good or whatever. But it's about how these teams look, and I'm not bought in yet. But last team in this tier we need to talk about before we move on is the Broncos. The reason I have him up here, and you have him at 10, which is a decent spot.
It's exactly where I had them before, and they completely look garbage.
I think it's being completely overblown by you what we looked like in that game. This defense looked historic levels of good. I mean,
They played a rookie quarterback who had no help.
okay, and that's fine, but they played an NFL caliber team, an NFL team that is not the worst team in the NFL.
That offense, with a rookie making his first career start, a terrible offensive line, and no
A team that we
playmakers.
didn't put in the bottom 5 of the NFL.
That's because your team looked garbage.
No,
and
because
their defense.
listen,
That was all
can I
because of their
speak?
defense.
Can I speak and get
This
through
was a
my
bottom 3
sentences?
offense.
Can I get through my sentences about
Bottom
the
3
before
offense.
you keep interrupting me, or am I never going to be able to talk about
No.
that? Okay, so basically, this defense, we know it's legit. And they came out and they proved that. Yes, they played a bad offense. So they're going to have to continue to prove it. But they proved it last year, and they only got better. We didn't even play with Greenlaw. Imagine if we played with our best linebacker by a long shot, at our biggest positional need by a long shot. Hufanga looked great addition there. This defense is so good. Sertan allowed a catch, being the nearest target on 34 pass coverage snaps. That's so unbelievably impressive, even against this bad offense. I mean, he is legit all-time corner. This Benito looks like he's taking a step. 9 pressures is an insane amount of pressures on
Same amount as
on
Dorrance Armstrong.
22 pass rush snaps.
Yep, same amount as Dorrance Armstrong.
He played a real offensive line, like
Giants?
the Broncos did.
Oh.
And their offensive line's not necessarily good, but it's
Dan
not.
Moore's not a
Giants.
real lineman, not a starting caliber lineman.
I mean, that's
He's
not
never
true.
was.
And he's
He
a
was
starting
never
caliber.
on the Steelers.
He would start for the Giants and maybe be their best offensive lineman last week. They were horrible. They were so bad. But my point is, 9 in 22 snaps is ridiculous. That's close to a 55% or 50% rate of pressuring the quarterback. That's insane. Our whole D line is really good. We had 6 sacks from 6.
Okay, we know your defense is good. We knew that before the game.
Ridiculous,
Can we move
exactly.
on to the offense?
No, what I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter. This offense just has to be average.
It wasn't.
Right. Let me talk.
You had you above the Packers.
Let me talk. How about you let me talk? Because you won't let me talk.
Okay, all you're doing is placing this defense,
No,
which you already
I'm
have
trying to
said.
bring up a point, and you won't let me talk, which the point is, this defense is historic levels of good if they continue on this track, and I think that they will. I think this is going to be the best defense in the NFL. If this offense takes any step forward from last week, which everything went wrong for them, every single thing, we still came out with the win pretty easily. I don't think the win was ever really in question. I never once felt worried about it. We're going to be a top 7 team because our defense is going to be that good. We're going to be staying in almost every single game. And our offense, everything went wrong. We still put up a decent amount of points. The run game was really good in the second half. Bo Nix showed things besides his bad turnovers. He still showed things. He made nice throws. The first drive was really nice. The second drive was really nice. The second half, he played a lot more controlled after that second interception. You just want to look at only the bad because you hate the Broncos. But there were good signs in the offense. Harvey looked great in his debut. Dobbins looked good. This offense has the pieces to be at least an average offense. And if it is, this is the 7th best team in the league because our defense is that good.
Okay, I don't know if this team's gonna be an average offense. They looked absolute garbage. Bo Nix looked terrible.
We didn't look compared to everyone else in the league. We looked like just below average. You actually looked like the worst offense in the league. We put up more points than a lot of the teams in the league. We ran the ball better than 90% of the teams in the league, which is a fact according to stats. And our Bo Nix made multiple mistakes, and everything went wrong for us. But we still looked like a competent offense on the field.
For a quarterback that's gonna make multiple interception-worthy throws, and he threw 2 picks, he probably should have thrown more. For a quarterback that's going to make all those mistakes, you expect him to make some good throws.
He did.
And I wasn't impressed. He hit wide-open receivers.
That's just not true.
If Caleb Williams had multiple the exact same throw on the move in the first drive.
Okay, well, you clearly didn't see the point. He rolled left, hit a guy in between 3 Titans defenders in the only spot it could be placed. That's a better throw than Love made all day.
I mean, the deep ball to Dobbs was really nice.
I still think that throw
The
was
throw
hard.
to Tucker Kraft was, watching it back, insane.
Rolling left and hitting that throw is more difficult. If you're a good quarterback, you should go to hit that Dobbs throw 9 times out of 10.
Okay, well, I don't know if no quarterback is hitting that 9 times out of 10.
I trust Nix too. That's not a hard throw. You're placing that
Nix
throw like
did
crazy.
nothing.
Nix did things. He just made 2 big mistakes. And
He
one of those
couldn't
wasn't
make
even his
plays.
fault. One of the picks was not his fault. So I don't understand what we're talking about here because you're acting like he just threw a bad ball on all 40 dropbacks he had or whatever it was.
A lot of them were bad balls.
Because they weren't. They were not bad balls. You just only want to look at the
Behind,
negative.
according to most people, the second best line in football.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what
that's
everybody's
wrong.
saying. Okay, what do you think? Top 5 line?
Yeah, probably.
Top 5 offensive line?
He got sacked once. Okay, good point.
He looked scared, and he was making all these bad throws every time he got under pressure.
Well, that's just not true.
So,
His best throw of the day came under pressure, but yeah, I mean,
what was his best throw of the day?
you wouldn't know because I've already explained it, but I actually watched every snap of the game, and I can tell you, Nick's made throws that were good. His touchdown throw was a nice throw. Like, he made good plays.
That's a nice throw.
Yeah.
Normal routine throw.
Right. Just like Love, and every single time Love makes a normal routine throw, it's like, oh, that's just a really nice placed ball, and you have to glaze it because those are the only throws he makes. He makes like 4 decent throws a game. And that's all he has to do. Guess what? Nick's made the same amount of decent throws in this game, but he also made big mistakes. Yes, that is the problem that he needs to clean up. He's a second-year quarterback in week 1, and he's shown that he plays games that are at a higher level than that. I'm not worried about that. For him to get us to an average offense, let's run the ball more, let's be more consistent, let's get better play calling. We can be just fine.
You can't get better play calling. You have the same play caller.
Let's switch to Davis Webb.
Also, by the way, he's super stubborn, so he's not going to give up his play calling or
Why not?
fix it.
Why can't he give it to Davis Webb?
So you're just saying there's room for improvement because our coach is an idiot.
No, because I think that everything went wrong and we came out of there with a very controlled win.
Yeah, you played the 27th best team in the NFL.
Yeah, and so we should have won that game, and we did.
We beat the 6th best team in the NFL, who, by the way, you still have above the Packers.
It's week 1.
It wasn't even close who the better team was. Again, Packers versus Lions.
1. The Lions are a better football team than you guys. No, you just don't understand. Like, any other year of the season, you would be preaching the exact opposite of what you're preaching because the Packers never looked this good in week 1. And because they do, now you're preaching this. Think about it. Remember when the Saints beat the Packers like 38-3 in week 1 with Jameis Winston? Does that mean the Packers were ass that season? No! They were great. Rodgers was amazing that season. Incredible even. But they were terrible in week 1. Horrible. The offense was like the worst in the NFL, arguably. They scored 3 points against a bad Saints team. But that doesn't mean that we were all just going to abandon ship and say the offense was terrible. Guess what? This offense we know is going to be at least okay because
We don't know that.
according to stats last season they were a top 10 offense, and that's the argument you want to make
According
about
to
the Packers
stats,
defense.
Bo Nix made 0 good throws, and Jordan Love made 4.
Well, that's just incorrect. What's
That's what it said. Big time
Oh
throws.
my god, I'm so done with that.
It
stat.
said big time throws. Bo Nix with 0 and 4 turnover worthy plays. Jordan
Okay,
Love,
that's just ridiculous.
4 big time throws, 0 turnover worthy plays.
Well, you need to actually watch the film instead of listening to PFF, who has no idea what they're talking
I didn't
about.
listen to them, I read it.
Yeah, PFF can't even get Talon Hufa's age right, so I don't really care. That's just a quick Google search, by the way. So I don't understand the hatred towards us because of one off game where we won. We won the off game, by the way.
Okay, well, this week you're getting a real
You're-
test.
You're taking way too much out of it. And yeah, you think the Colts are incredible.
You better win by more than 1 score. I have the Colts like
We will.
10 spots below you.
Yeah, we will. And you also think the Colts are like a crazy good team for some reason. So when we
I have them at 20!
So when we
I have them at 20! Who do you have at 20?
you do not have them at 20, they're like 19 actually.
19. Who do you have
That's
at
the
19?
Raiders. They're not on the same tier as the Raiders.
You think the Raiders play the Broncos? How much do you think you're winning by?
Probably like 10.
10. So you should win by 10.
We will. I'm not scared of the Colts at all.
What if you win by 3 and you're like, we pulled out another win? I love
It
the
depends how we
Broncos.
look. What if the Colts look incredible and I'm like, maybe I was wrong about the Colts?
Okay, well that probably will happen, and you'll probably say that.
Well, I'm just saying, I think we're going to win pretty handedly, and you're going to try to chalk it up to, oh, I was just wrong about the Colts. That's all it was. But really, we're going to get in a groove, and we're going to look a lot better this week.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to the top 5, because we basically talked about the top 5
Ridiculous.
teams. I mean, you just clearly don't understand that week 1 is different, but you ready to go on to the top 5?
Yes. All right, moving into the top 5. At number 5, I have the Chiefs. Number 4, I have the Packers. Number 3, I have the Bills. Number 2, I have the Eagles. And number 1, I have the Ravens.
5, I have the Steelers. 4, I have the Rams. 3, I have the Bills. 2, I have the Eagles. And 1, I have the Ravens. So we have the same top 3.
People are going to be really mad when they see the Bills not at 1, and especially when they see
Ravens
the Ravens at number 1. The Ravens,
An 0-1 team at 1 is kind of crazy.
it is, but also every single power rankings I've looked at, they're either 3 or 4. And the Packers, in the ones where they're at 4, the Packers are above them.
The Packers are not a better football team than them. It's not close.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty
They're worse
obvious.
on both sides of the ball.
I don't
exponential.
understand. I don't understand the Ravens' hate right now. The Ravens sold that game. Derrick Henry fumbled. He never fumbles. Like, the
Everything
game just
went
went
wrong
really
in the
bad
game.
at the end of the game. I still
Then
think they're a better
Saquon
football
fourth
team.
down that fell into the other guy's hands too.
Mhm.
That would have been the game as well.
Yeah,
Missed
like,
extra point was a big deal at the end of that game.
they probably still win.
I mean, but it still changes how the course of the game goes a little bit. Like you have to realize that all these things went wrong for them. This team is the best roster in the NFL. It's not close. They're way better than all these teams. It does worry me because John Harbaugh is a bad coach when it comes to giving up these fourth quarter comebacks, and that is really worrisome. That's a big reason they haven't been able to win. But it's still the best team in the NFL. They had this game won. In 99 times out of 100, they're winning that game if it's the exact same situation. Because guess what? Derrick Henry's not going to fumble, like you said. The ball's not going to get tipped right in the other guy's arms. Like, these things aren't going to happen as often. I think this team is still the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, they played a better game than the Bills. The Bills just got lucky at the end. Lamar's best quarterback in football. Like, I just don't understand putting them outside the top. Like, I hate that power rankings are just standings. Like, basically, there's like, here are all the elite teams. Okay, the elite teams that lost, let's put them in the bottom half of the elite teams category. That's basically how most people do power rankings. Is they put people in tiers and they're like, these people lost, these people won. So the Bills are going to be number one on everybody's because they had a tough win, which I do respect the Bills win. I put them at 3. They were way lower than that for me.
Yeah, that's higher than they actually are team-wise, I think.
Maybe. I mean, they're just
not
not.
Top 10 defense, and you can't be.
That defense looked pretty pathetic.
Just like I said it would. This defense is not top 10, not close.
They also did play the best offense in football.
Right, but like it looked like they had no idea how to stop the run at all.
Yeah, but it's Derrick Henry.
Yeah, but like they played Derrick Henry home to.
Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry has the most rushing yards this year since 2024, since 2023, all the way back to 2016 when he was drafted.
That's insane. He's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. I think it's time to put him in like top 3 all-time conversations.
Maybe not that far. I was thinking top 8.
No,
he's obviously like I think
it's like Tomlinson. And Sanders,
you're really putting him above Emmitt Smith.
I think he's better than Smith for sure.
I don't know.
Smith, the only reason Smith's that high is because
he was really old too. Like he stayed in the league a while.
Cowboy. I think if Henry keeps playing for another couple of years, it's gonna be pretty hard to keep him out of it.
At least top 5.
Yeah, but that's why those. And then obviously the Eagles, reigning Super Bowl champs, you gotta win. Offense looked good. Defense kind of looked bad, but you lost your best defensive player. And it looked, I mean, how much do you chalk it up, but it looked good after the lightning delay. So, I don't know. I feel like we just need to see more from them. See how they do against the Chiefs this week. Hopefully they can pull out another win. Chiefs go to 0-2. That'd be pretty fire. But they need Carter back, and that was a big thing that I noticed in that game. Is like Carter's very important in this defense.
Mm-hmm.
And then we already talked about the other 2 teams. So is there anything else you want to talk about?
The Packers.
We already talked about the Packers. A lot.
I mean, it just feels good to have Micah Parsons.
Yeah, I know. I heard a lot about it.
I didn't talk about it very much, so Spencer could.
It's just not true, guys. You don't understand. This guy's been talking about Micah Parsons like 24/7 since they got him.
It's so beautiful.
Plays less than 50% of snaps. So beautiful.
Also, like, what was the snap share thing?
Yeah, in the last
game, we're in the game. Beginning of the game, we don't know if we're gonna win. Let's just not play him. Let's only play him half the time, and then at the end of the game, the game is like a 3-score game and it's over. Let's just keep playing him.
Yeah.
Well, I understand that to some degree. I think I wouldn't have done it, but once he got a sack, like, why is he still in the game?
Yeah. Once he got a sack, there was just no reason for him to be in there.
It didn't make any sense. I think Parsons is saying he wants to live up to the contract, which is good, but you're hurt. So I'm not really too worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that's a really good sign, though, as a leader right there.
I mean, he's a great player. We knew that coming in, but it's just about staying healthy at this point and staying consistent. So,
yeah.
Anybody else want to talk about?
I mean, we already. Oh wait, that is not my list.
I think that's about it for me.
Yeah.
So we appreciate all you guys watching. Sorry you had to hear McKay rant about the Packers and Micah Parsons, but we're excited for week 2 of football. It's been a lot of fun getting football back. Comment down below what you would change on our power rankings, what we got wrong, and if you made it all the way to the end of the video, you might as well subscribe and like the video if you're not already. We'd really appreciate it. Help us out a ton, and have a good one.